Right guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video I will be talking about the retain list which Luton have announced today, and there is one player in particular that I'm absolutely upset that he is leaving the club, and that is Luke Berry. Luke Berry, for me, I thought could still do it in the Championship. He's a goal scoring midfielder, he shoots on sight, he throws his body into every challenge possible, and I was gutted to see him go because I still think he has the ability and I still think he has something to contribute towards Luton. But I think age is against him. He spent, plenty of fantastic years at Luton, scoring in League Two, League One, Championship and Premier League. And to see him go, yes, it's upsetting. But if he wants to play regular football, and I can't blame him if he does, then you've kind of got to honour that. He's done his service for Luton. He puts in the effort in. I cannot fault Luke Berry's time at the club. I can count countless of games in my head when he's done extremely well. I was there when he broke his leg at Colchester away, and I was honestly gutted then. He came back, he recovered well, and I felt like he's performed really well in a Luton shirt. I cannot fault him whatsoever, and I'm gutted to see him go. Where could he go? We had a few rumours about Watford being interested in him. I can't see him going there. QPR as well. I think a few American teams. And then the one that I think is blatantly obvious, which I can actually see happening, is going to Charlton. And that's just because Nathan Jones is there. I can see Nathan Jones signing a few former Luton players. I could definitely see that happening. The next player which Luton have decided to keep on, which may surprise a few people, is James Shea. And I feel like one goalkeeper in particular will be going. There's no way we can keep Kaminsky, Krul, Walton and also James Shea. So is Walton going to go? Is Krul going to go? It's got to be one of those two goalkeepers. I can't see Kaminsky going. So yeah, it only leaves you with Krul and Walton. Walton had a fantastic season in Scotland, keeping over 20 clean sheets and also winning promotion. So it's either him or Krul. Krul didn't really set the world alight for us when he did play. So it'd be interesting to see what happens between the goalkeeper department, who stays, who goes, because you're not going to keep 4 goalkeepers throughout a season. It'd be very unlikely. And I do apologise with the shaky camera. I'm on holiday and I'm trying the best I can absolutely do with holding it with my hand. But anyway, that's James Shea. Obviously, I'm delighted to see James Shea stay. I felt like he's a really good ambassador for the club. I mentioned this in my last video. He's someone that the players have a really strong connection with. He also represents the players as well. So if there's a problem or one of the players are upset, they go to James Shea and he's the one who, talks on behalf of the player. So he's got a great relationship with a lot of the players. And it's important to have those types of characters in and around the team. Another player which has been a long-serving player for us is Dan Potts. Dan Potts, we've decided to obviously let go. I think this is the correct decision. I think Dan Potts' injury record has cost us quite a bit throughout his time at the club. Of course, he's put in a lot of effort in, and I know off the field he's got a few issues, especially with previous medical history, which I understand, that can cause an impact. But on the pitch, I don't think he's quite there in terms of quality. I always questioned whether he was actually a Championship defender. At times he proved it, and I felt like that left-sided centre-back role really suited him better than it did as a full-back. I think with him leaving, it's just the right thing. He didn't play a single minute of Premier League football because of injuries. He got injured every single season. You couldn't trust him to stay fit. But he put in a lot of, good years of service, 3 promotions. You can't knock that. The same with Luke Berry. So you can just simply appreciate what he's done for the club. Very good in the air, especially with his heading ability. And he did put in his all. That's one thing I can't question. He always put in a decent effort in. Whether or not he was good enough is a different story, but he still tried, and that's the main thing. So thank you, Dan Potts. Thank you, Luke Berry, for your services. And we're being a little bit, ruthless in terms of saying goodbye to some players that have been at the club for a long time and, paying respect in the best way possible. And yeah, I can see him again going to Charlton, just like Luke Berry. Musway as well, getting released. No surprises there. He had potential, but I felt like it just didn't work out for him. I think the club progressed too quickly, and maybe he just didn't turn out to be the striker which we all thought he could have potentially have been. He looked on paper really good, especially when he had a loan deal with Wickham, but never really lived up to that expectation. Fred Onyedinma, I really liked Fred. I thought he always put in a decent effort in. Same with, I guess, with Musway. He had potential. He played a lot more under Nathan Jones. I think Nathan Jones liked him a lot more. I think injuries as well went against him. And he's just had a bit of bad luck with injuries. But I don't think Rob Edwards was a fan of Fred Onyedinma. But he came back, especially from, his injury at Rotherham, and played in the second part of the Premier League where we actually needed him the most. And I thought he did okay. I really did. So I did like Fred, but I think, Rob doesn't like him and we're trying to move on. But we thank him for his services as well. And the last one was Thorpe. Thorpe, lots of, high potential. We thought we were going to see a lot of him. But he had a lot of injuries, especially when he went out on loan. He just couldn't play regular football when he went on his loan deals. Don't think he was liked a lot. And he was someone that probably didn't live up to an expectation which we thought. He was definitely one for the future, but he never really lived up to it. I did like him when I saw him play, but injuries play a huge factor, and he needs to go to a club now where he can stay injury free and also play regular men's team football, because he definitely is someone that I think could have a good future if he can just play simply regular football. And then the rest, we've still got everyone under contract. I do expect a few players to leave, like players like Alan Campbell, Pebble, Dion Pereira, those types of players to go on and find another club. But it really does look like, Luton-wise, we are going to be recruiting a lot of defenders and midfielders. We did offer a contract to Osho. He's the only other player that is currently out of contract at the club. I'm not too bothered if he doesn't sign, because I personally haven't seen enough consistent performances under him. Before Edwards came in, Osho wasn't the best under Nathan. And then for a 6-month period, when Rob Edwards did come in, Osho was brilliant. He really was brilliant. But during this Premier League season, I haven't been impressed with him at all. I guess injuries have impacted him. But I feel like he could be better suited playing as a fullback. He was a fullback when he played for Reading, when we first signed him. But as a centre-half, he just doesn't... I don't know. I'm not his biggest fan, I have to admit. I thought he had the potential to become a Premier League defender. Maybe he still does, but not as a centre-half. I feel like he got caught out quite a lot in the Premier League, and defensively we weren't great. So, yeah, it'd be an interesting one if he does decide to stay. But I'd be surprised if he gets a Premier League move. I really would do, because I didn't see enough, if I'm being honest with you. He's good with the ball at his feet, no questions there. But the other side of things, I'm a little bit not too sure on. But those are just my thoughts on the retain list that got announced today by Luton. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section of the video. And yeah, I'll see you all in whatever happens next in Luton Town.